Hello everybody, this is Jerry with Heart and Hand Creations, and today I'm going to show you how I am packaging some cards I made for my vendor market that's coming up in November. So I got the idea of how to package my cards from Jessica Creates. I found her on YouTube, and I'll link her Instagram and YouTube accounts down below. But I was looking for how to package my cards. I knew I wanted to put them in some cellophane envelopes to protect them, but I wasn't exactly sure how to put price tags on them, what to put inside with the cards. And a lot of my cards have different ephemera on them, such as enamel dots and cardboard pieces that need to be protected as it goes through the mail if somebody's mailing them. I was searching YouTube and I came across Jessica, and I thought she had wonderful information. She has a shop, but she also does some vendor markets. And she mentioned that over the course of a couple of years of selling cards, greeting cards, she had learned to go through this process. So what I've done is created the items that she puts in her cards and how to protect the cards as they're going through the mail. So the first thing I wanted to show you is I've created this card, and it is a washi tape card, and it just says hello, but you can see here I've got some enamel dots on here, and these are made with washi tape, and I've made these a couple of different ways. I've got diagonal, these are going vertically, and I do have some that go horizontal. So I thought I'd show you how I'm going through the process of putting these cards in their protective envelopes to send them through the mail and to protect them at the market. So the first thing she suggests, and that I'm doing, is that you get a heavier piece of cardstock, and then you say place this protective paper over the front of the card in the envelope with mailing. So what you do is cut it so that it's going to go over this and help pad it while it's going through the mail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the envelope before putting it in its packaging. So I'm going to put these in. I've already pre-assembled some of the envelopes, but this way when they're going to mail it, they'll see this piece of paper that is to cover the card, and it's very clear, and it also has my website address on there. So I put these on in the envelopes, and notice that I'm using a brightly colored envelope that coordinates with the washi tape that was used on the front of the cards. And the cards are also blank inside. I use 110-pound cardstock for my card bases. She says to do is to create something like this inside that you put in the cellophane envelope that protects your card so that you're not opening the card and pulling it out during a fair, vendor market, because I think our vendor market's going to be outside, so I don't want dirty hands all over the cards. So you can see this says inside message, blank inside, write a personal message. So I'm going to put this in with the card so that the person knows what's inside the card. Now I've also created some of these that says inside message and it's blank, and what I'll do is pull out my sentiment that I use inside the card. A lot of my holiday cards already have a sentiment stamped inside, and I'll stamp it in this section so they'll know what that message says. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cellophane envelope protective sleeve, and you can see here's one that's packaged, and she suggests this is an A2 card, so it's 5.5 by 4.25. And the envelope you see is just a little bit larger so that this fits in there. So it's a coordinating envelope. But what she suggests you do is put these in. You can see I've got my logo on the back of the card. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to slip this in this way. I got to turn it the right way. Slip these in here. And then you slip this card that tells what's inside. And what I'm going to do next time, she had a card that sits in here like this. So it must be a 2x3. I made these a little larger because I didn't know her size. So what I'm going to do once I've used the batch I printed on my printer is make it smaller so it's a 2x3 and it can fit in this way. But it works just fine. So what I'm going to do is slip this in the back here. And so then you have your card, the message that's inside the card, so you don't have to pull it out. And let me get that settled in. And then all you do is pull this down. And these envelopes I got from Amazon. They're the ones that she suggested for A2 cards. And they're crystal clear. It's just a pretty packaging, I think. And then what she does is puts Avery one of the little squares and hand writes the price tag on the outside of the envelope. So I am going to be doing that, but I don't have that ready to go just yet. I've gotten those labels purchased, but I haven't settled on a price yet. I'm still struggling, and we kind of struggle with that. Those of us who sell our handcrafted creations, we struggle with what to price our items. So I just put this in here like this and seal that down really well. And you can see that's how it looks in the back. And then this is how it looks in the front. And then I've got one more to do. You can see that I've already slipped this in here. So I put this like this. Oops, slip these in. If I did it one at a time, it might be a little easier. Slide those in. And then I just slip this in here as well. Whoops, I've got several there. Okay, and you see here are all the cards packaged. Here's my first 10 cards packaged. I still need to price them, but I'll get that done. And I'll say thank you. Shout out to Jessica for the great ideas on packaging and market tips. So check her link out. Like I said, I have it in the description below. Subscribe to my channel and see what I'm into next week. I've got a series for what I'm doing each week to prepare for the vendor market that comes up in November. So subscribe, and I'll see you next time.